Have you ever read a book or played a game and thought, I wish I could decide what happens next? Well, what if I told you that you could not only decide but create the entire world of choices yourself? Welcome, fellow storytellers, to our ultimate guide on crafting your very own choose your own adventure story. Whether you're a seasoned writer or just starting out, this video will give you the keys to unlock a world of interactive fiction. So grab your notebook and let's start building an adventure. First things first, every great story, interactive or not, is built on the foundation of compelling characters. Your reader isn't just a passive observer, they're an active participant, often seeing the world through your protagonist's eyes. So who is this character? Are they a brave knight, a cunning rogue, a brilliant scientist, or just an ordinary person thrown into extraordinary circumstances? Give them a name, a backstory, and most importantly, a goal. What drives them? What are their fears? What are their strengths and weaknesses? Think about it this way. If your reader has to make a tough choice, they'll make it as the character. A greedy character might choose the glittering treasure over the safe path, while a selfless hero would risk everything to save a friend. These traits will directly influence the decisions the reader makes. Create a simple character sheet. Write down their personality, their core motivation, and a secret they're hiding. This will make them feel real and relatable, and when your readers connect with the character, they'll be fully invested in their journey, and by extension, your story. Now for the fun part, the heart of any interactive story, the branching paths and multiple endings. This is where your story transforms from a straight line into a sprawling, exciting web of possibilities. Start by outlining your main plot. What is the central conflict? What is the ultimate goal? Once you have your main storyline, think about the key decision points. These are the moments where the reader has to make a choice. A simple structure to start with is the binary choice. Do you go left or right? Do you fight the monster or run? For each choice, you need to write a different outcome. Going left might lead to a hidden clue, while going right could lead to a dangerous trap. Don't be afraid to let choices have real consequences. A bad decision could lead to a game over or a less than ideal ending. This makes the reader's choices feel meaningful and adds a layer of challenge. I recommend mapping this out visually. Use a flowchart or a mind map. Start with your opening scene, and every time a choice is presented, draw 2 or more branches leading out from it. This visual guide will help you keep track of all the different paths and ensure they all lead somewhere. How many endings should you have? There's no magic number. You could have one true happy ending, several neutral ones, and a few tragic ones. The variety is what makes rereading the story so rewarding. Readers will be curious to go back and see what would have happened if they had chosen differently. This is what truly enhances engagement and makes your story memorable. They aren't just reading your story, they're exploring it. So you have your characters and your branching plot. How do you make your world come alive? The answer is sensory details. You want your reader to feel like they are in the story, not just reading about it. When your character enters a spooky forest, don't just say it was a spooky forest. Describe it. Talk about the gnarled, skeletal fingers of the branches reaching for them, the damp, earthy smell of decaying leaves, the chilling hoot of a distant owl, and the feel of cold mist on their skin. Engage all 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. What does the magical potion taste like? What does the dragon's roar sound like? What does the ancient velvet cloak feel like? By painting a vivid picture with your words, you immerse the reader completely. When they have to make a choice, they'll be making it based on a world they can almost touch and feel. This makes the stakes feel higher and the experience far more powerful. Go through your scenes and actively ask yourself, what can my character see, hear, smell, taste, and touch right now? Weaving these details into your narrative will elevate your story from a simple game of choices to a rich, unforgettable experience. Okay, your reader is immersed. They're making choices. How do you keep them on the edge of their seat? With unexpected twists and turns, the beauty of a choose-your-own-adventure format is that you can surprise your reader in ways a traditional story can't. Because they are in control, they might start to feel comfortable, thinking they can predict the outcome of their choices. That's your moment to flip the script. Maybe the friendly guide who has been helping them all along is actually the villain. Maybe the wrong choice that seemed to lead to a dead end is actually a secret shortcut to the best ending. These kinds of twists challenge the reader's assumptions and make the story thrilling. Think about common tropes in your genre and find a way to subvert them. If they choose to fight the giant spider, maybe it turns out the spider just wanted help untangling its web. A great twist feels both surprising and, in hindsight, inevitable. You can plant subtle clues or foreshadowing earlier in different paths. This rewards attentive readers and makes the twist feel earned, not just random. Don't overdo it, of course. A story with too many twists can become confusing. But a few well-placed surprises will keep the energy high and ensure your reader is hooked from the first choice to the very last. Finally, let's talk about structure. A chaotic web of choices can be as confusing for you to write as it is for the reader to navigate. You need a clear, organized structure for your plot progression and decision points. We've already talked about using flowcharts, which is my #1 tip, but let's get more specific. Think of your story in terms of acts, just like a traditional narrative. Act 1 introduces the character and the main conflict, ending with the first major decision. Act 2 is the bulk of the adventure, where the reader explores different paths and faces challenges based on their choices. Act 3 is where the various paths converge toward their respective climaxes and endings. When you're writing, it's helpful to label your sections. You could use numbers, letters, or descriptive titles. For example, your story starts in Section 1. At the end of Section 1, it might say, if you decide to enter the cave, turn to Section 2. If you decide to climb the mountain, turn to Section 3. This makes it easy for the reader to follow and for you to organize. Digital tools can be a huge help here. Software like Twine is specifically designed for creating interactive fiction and handles all the linking for you automatically. But honestly, a simple word processor or even a physical notebook works just as well. The key is to be consistent and organized from the start. This framework will be your lifeline, keeping your complex story from spiraling into a tangled mess. So, let's recap the 5 key steps. First, create engaging characters that your audience will connect with. Second, outline multiple branching paths and endings to make choices meaningful. Third, immerse your reader by incorporating rich sensory details. Fourth, keep them guessing with unexpected twists. And fifth, develop a clear structure to keep your story organized and easy to navigate. Creating a choose-your-own-adventure story is an incredible journey in itself. It's a unique way to blend storytelling with game design. It might seem daunting at first, but by breaking it down into these manageable steps, you'll be crafting your own interactive worlds in no time. The most important thing is to have fun with it. Let your imagination run wild. You are the architect of this world, and there are no limits to the adventures you can create. Thank you so much for joining me on this creative quest today. I hope you're feeling inspired to start writing. If you found this guide helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more writing tips and creative inspiration. And I'd love to hear about the adventures you're planning to create, so drop your ideas in the comments below. Happy writing, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.